Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Chapter 1.1 through 1.6 review. Remember, right before a review, we got a little quiz. So, hope you're ready for it. Okay, remember this is no calculator. Show all of your work, circle your or box your final answers. So, problem number 1 says, what fraction of the figure is shaded? Write that in lowest terms. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 total shaded and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Okay, so what we got to do is divide that out. What goes into both 6 and 12? 6 does. Okay, so 6 divided by 12 gives us a grand total of 1/2. Okay, find the prime factorization of 360. Write the factors in numerical order. Okay, so prime factorization, aka that is a factor tree. Okay, so we need to split that up. And whenever I see a number that ends in a 0, I always think, well, it's going to be 36 and the other part is 10. Okay, so let's break down 10. 10 is 2 times 5, and both of those are prime numbers, so we need to leave them alone. Now, to get to 36, there's multiple different ways to get to 36, but I always think of 6 and 6. And then breaking down 6 is 2 times 3. And once again, 6 is 2 times 3. And I forgot that every time we get to a prime number, we need to circle our answers. So then writing them in numerical order, which is least to greatest, we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. All right, number 3 says that we need to simplify. Now, whenever we're dividing fractions, we don't just say, I give up and write IDK, okay? Unacceptable. We need to flip that, okay? So we have 4 over 15 times 21 over 16, okay? And now we look at our kitty corners to see if we can reduce, and we can. 4 goes into both 4 and 16. And what goes into 15 and 21? Hopefully you're saying 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5, and 21 divided by 3 is 7. So when we rewrite that, we have 1 over 5 times 7 over 4. And now all we do is multiply straight across. 1 times 7 is 7, and 5 times 4 is 20. And if we did that correctly, step number 3, where we're kind of doing the kitty corners, you won't be able to reduce your final answer. All right, number 4 says to subtract. Now, I know I can't subtract those because they have different denominators, guys, okay? So off to the side, you need to find out what is your LCD of 4 and 7. Some of you guys might be able to figure that out right away, but others will need to, write them out. And it's 28, okay? So 3 over 7, I need to change that over to 28. And 3 over 4, I need to change that to a number over 28. Now, if I'm changing the denominators, I have to change the numerators too. So 7 times 4 gives me 28, so 3 times 4 is 12. What you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top, okay? So when I rewrite these, we have 12 over 28 minus 21 over 28. I'll give you a hint, the denominator's 28, okay? But over to the side, if you need to subtract those, oh man, Mr. Grice, I can't subtract those. Okay, well then flip them. 11 minus 2 is 9, and that's going to be a negative 9. So we get negative 9 over 28. Okay, number 5, write in exponential form using exponents. Whenever we have negatives, I'm going to make sure I'm going to use parentheses and make sure that there's that negative sign in there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I put a 4 on top. All right, number 6, we need to follow order of operations. You might be like, yo, multiplication, I do that first. Actually, you don't. Okay, in this case, we need to divide first because that comes first from left to right. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Okay, 4 times 2 gives you 8. And 8 minus 9 is -1. Okay, number 7, find the supplement. Supplement means it goes up to 180. So 180 minus 64. Borrow, 10 minus 4 is 6. 8 turns into a 7. 7 minus 6 is 1. And so we get 116 degrees. Okay, so I know that A is 27 degrees, and I need to find B and C. Okay, so off to the side, I know that I need to find the measure of angle B and the measure of angle C. Well, the measure of angle C I know right away is 27 degrees. Okay, those are vertical angles. Now, my other set of angles, those are supplementary. Okay, so we take 180 minus 27. We get 3. 7 minus 2 is 5, and I bring down the 1. So we get 153 degrees. Okay, find the exact circumference of a circle whose radius is 14 feet. Use pi, not 3.14. So anytime it says exact, I know that I need to use the symbol pi. Okay, so if you need to draw a circle that is a terrible circle, okay, the radius is 14. And remember, twinkle, twinkle, little star, because circumference equals 2 pi r. Okay, so just plug everything in. You get 2 times pi times your radius, which is 14, and 2 times 14 gives us 28 pi, and we're talking about feet. Don't forget about your label. Okay, let's go ahead and flip it over. 10 says to find the area of the figure below. Okay, so when we're finding the area, we need to break it down into 2 different shapes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down this way right here. So we've got our little guy up here and the big one down here. And when we do this, we're going to take the area of one plus the area of the other. Now, I need 2 numbers for area, and this whole thing is 10, but I need just this little part, okay? Well, if this whole thing is 10, and that part's 4, well, 4 plus what gives me 10? And that's 6, okay? So I know that the area of the blue is 6 times 6, which gives me 36, plus the area of the other is 4 times 20, which is a total of 80. And then if you need to line them up to add them, go ahead. So we get the area is 116 meters squared. All right, number 11 says identify the rational numbers in this set. Remember, rational numbers are numbers that you can write as a fraction. Okay, and the only ones that you can write as a fraction are -11, 3.5, 7 over 3, and 5.77. Repeating, these other guys are not rational. Okay? Number 12. Simplify. Well, the absolute value of a negative 2/3 is 2/3. But I want the opposite of that. So the opposite of a positive 2/3 is a negative 2/3. So is the following statement true or false? Negative 9 is greater than negative 2. Hopefully you're all saying, Mr. Grice, that's false, okay? Because if you were to draw a number line, and there's 0, there's negative 2, there's negative 9. As we go to the left, numbers get smaller. And if we go to the right, numbers get bigger. So negative 9 is actually less than negative 2. And that's why. Okay, simplify. Negative 15 minus 7. If you guys need to do your little click right there, be like, oh, they're the same sign, so I add them. 15 plus 7 is negative 22. Okay, number 15, we're doing the same thing. Two negatives. Oh, I add those. And now it's negative 7.5 plus 10.8 if you need to rewrite that. So when you're subtracting, it's easier. You get a positive 3.3. (16) says translate and evaluate the sum of 3 and the product of 4 and negative 6. So what this tells me is I need to add, and I'm going to add 3, but I'm going to add 3 times 4 and negative 6. So 4 times negative 6. Well, 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. And then negative 24 plus 3 is negative 21. Number 17, do you guys remember this one? Because we've talked about this problem before. Okay? This means that there are 2 of the bases, negative 10 times negative 10, and negative 10 times negative 10 is positive 100. And the difference between that is the parentheses, because in the next one, there's no parentheses, which means there's only one negative, and we just repeat the 4. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 4 is 16, but it's negative because there's only one. All right, 19. We need to plug in for the x's and plug in the y's. So when we do that, we get 3 times 4 minus 2 times negative 2 over 4 plus negative 2. So the top 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. And 12 plus 4 gives me 16. Now on the bottom, 12 plus 4, 4 plus negative 2 is 2. We can just carry that, and 16 divided by 2 gives us 8. And that's it. Okay. So if you have any questions with that, please come find Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, that's it for Algebra 2, Chapter 1.1 through 1.6 review. And good luck on your quiz.